I think we lost Jason for a second there. We are now going to C is for Contriteness, written and directed by Kevin Reagan and performed by Katie Lily Lambert.
Are we recording? Okay. So I just look straight into this camera? Right. And where do we start? I'm sorry, it's just, I've never spoken publicly about my father before and I'm a little nervous. Okay. Right. I can do that. I always thought I had the cool dad growing up. He was the dad that would let you eat dessert before dinner, who'd do all these funny voices for my friends. And he had this trick where he could move his eyes back and forward really fast, like all goggly. And everyone used to say, "Is he drunk?" I'd be like, no, he's doing a bit. So he was always entertaining. But now I know he was overcompensating for something he was lacking. I'm sorry. How much of this are you going to use? It's just that I don't know what's okay to say. You know, my father, he's still working. And Hollywood isn't kind to people like him. Right. Okay. Well, I first started to realize there was something wrong with my dad when I was about 6. I was a Girl Scout and sometimes he'd take me to my meetings and he'd stand in the back with the other moms while we learned to sew or whatever. And there was this one time where we were choosing how many boxes of cookies we wanted to order that season. And they gave us this little manual and we had to circle what kind of cookies we wanted, you know, chocolate, coconut, peanut butter, and how many boxes. So I gave this little manual to my dad and he just stared at it for a long time. And it seemed like a really long time because all the moms were just watching us and waiting. And so finally my dad said, I'll order all of them. And everyone just gasped all dramatically because, you know, nobody orders all the cookies. That's insane. And of course, I didn't sell all the cookies that season. So my dad ended up having to buy most of the boxes himself. So we hid them in the attic, you know, so my mom didn't find them. And gradually he ate all the cookies himself. It's a good thing he has a sweet tooth. Then when I was 9, my teacher was teaching us pronouns. And I raised my hand in class and I said, "You're teaching this wrong." And she looked at me all confused and I said, "My dad, he doesn't say he or I. He says, me go to the store. Me want some water." And everyone laughed at me. So I went home crying that day and I confronted my dad. And he was looking at a newspaper, you know, filling in a crossword puzzle. And he was filling in every square with just nom, 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 over and over again. So I said to him, "Can you actually read that paper or are you just pretending?" And he was quiet for a long time. And then he said that his whole career, he'd been trying to learn the alphabet and he could never get past the letter C. I called him a monster and a loser. And I ran up to my room. I stopped inviting friends over after that. My dad's marriage to my mom only lasted a couple more years and he moved to the city with some friends. Last thing I heard, he was living in some small dump with a guy named Oscar. You know, he still sends me money every month. But he can't sign the check, so he just chomps on the corner and leaves a bite mark. You know, the bank still accepts it every time. Isn't that funny? It's the last photo I have of my dad. I'm sorry, can we stop? I can't do this.